Welcome, everybody, to this Friday edition of Oaklawn Today. An amazing card in store. Nancy Holthus here with as they say in MMA, my verbal sparring partner, Matt Dinnerman. It's an MMA thing that just popped in my head. We have a beautiful day, and our set still decorated. Thank you, promotions team, as it is the year of the horse in the Lunar New Year. So very, very cute, and lots going on this weekend. We are going to feature Arkansas breds in our stakes action. But first, let's take a look at our weather page. I love to see the sun shining. It is a little bit cool at 50 degrees, especially with winds out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. But I love that the track is fast and we have sunny skies. That's what I always love to see.
Once again today, yesterday it felt like a summer day in San Diego. 73 degrees, sunny. Today it's a little bit on the cooler side currently, but the sun is out, the track is fast. Good stuff. Yes,
absolutely. Let's take a look at our news page. We did have several connections making 2 trips to the winner's circle, that being Steve Asmussen and Cipriano Contreras with training doubles, and Ramon Vasquez, that momentum still carrying through last week as he scored a riding double. We do have a $1 Classics Pick 6 carryover of $15,594, and Matt, the important part, the 41 cents. Love the fact that Holland Ice comes home for the Down the Dusty Road Breeders' Stake. Can't wait to see her back in the flesh. Absolutely so excited that she's here. A big Saturday in store, so tomorrow make your plans and join me for Dawn at Oaklawn with the very own Matt Dinnerman. Super excited, and the program is free. First come, first serve, come one, come all, and it starts at 7:30. We'll do barn tours at 7:45 and 9 o'clock, and Matt will join me at the break at 8:30. Navy SEAL is hoping to repeat in tomorrow's feature, the No Double, and the $1 million Rebel Stakes draw will be live on Saturday afternoon. A whole lot gearing up for next weekend. We will return with live racing on Thursday, and we have stakes action Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So still people are figuring out that Rebel is Sunday, March 1st. So a big weekend planned. And if you haven't made your Rebel plans yet, do so ASAP. So very excited.
Very exciting week next week especially. And here at Oaklawn, since we had that break, we're going to 4 days a week from here on out for most of the weeks anyway. And it's just busy, 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 I think would be the right word for it. It is. But in a good way.
And tomorrow, we're going to help our junior fans. We want to thank our littlest fans. And if you come tomorrow, and that is Saturday, it is the Year of the Horse, as we've reminded you. Racing fans 12 and under. I know we're all 12 at heart, but 12 years old and under, you can pick up one of these amazing little plushies at the information booth. And this is from the time doors open until race number 6. There is one per child and while supplies last. So come out and get your little plushie for our smallest fans. So 12 and under, just a reminder. Everybody wants them, but you got to be a kid.
Story time.
Yes, I can't wait to hear this one.
Last night, I brought my little plushie home, and for whatever reason, I had him on the couch with me, and I was watching Better Call Saul, which we talked about yesterday. That's what I'm binging right now. And I fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up at about 6 a.m., which I usually wake up earlier than that when I fall asleep on the couch. I have a very comfy couch.
It sounds like it.
Very comfy couch. So most of my night was spent on the couch. And I'm single. I wasn't kicked out of the room or anything.
You weren't sequestered to the couch.
And I woke up, and I was with my little plushie.
Aww.
So if a 33-year-old man can have a good night's sleep with the plushie, then your kids definitely will be able to have a good night's sleep with this little guy.
I love that. So I definitely want to take one home, but I know he will be disemboweled.
Oh, yeah.
Your
doggy
Roscoe's the one that just rips all that stuff out. And when I had my
can't have that.
When I had my Chihuahua, he had like 30 toys, and he would always rip the stuffing out. And every Tuesday was surgery day. I would shove all the stuff back in, sew him up. But yeah, just
you've learned a little bit about operations, Nancy.
Those toys can be expensive.
No, I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm sure.
so
Somebody's got to make good money if they want to make dog toys. Somebody had to do it for that reason.
Exactly. So. Yeah, my Chihuahua had everything. Juicy couture cashmere sweaters. I mean, it was.
So you have a Chihuahua?
Well, I had a Chihuahua. He has since passed.
Okay.
But yeah, now have Roscoe, the Chug. We think he's like a Chihuahua pug-ish. And then the Blue Heeler, who is like an 85-pound child. Yeah, who thinks he's a lap dog. So yeah.
Is the mix? Does he snort sort of like a pug?
No, he's got more of a Chihuahua head, and his body is kind of puggish. He's got the curly tail.
Does he?
He's
like
the one
horses?
in the commercials, the little white dog that I feed the popcorn to. That's
okay.
Roscoe. Yeah, that's my baby Roscoe.
Does he like horses? Like if you brought him to the
Well,
back
he hasn't really been around the horses, but Jake definitely has. Jake would go to the barn all summer with Paul, and he's really well. You got to kind of be careful because Blue Heelers are herd animals.
Gotcha.
So they go. He nips at our heels if we're not moving fast enough. But yeah, he learned his lesson. At Ellis Park this summer. So the bigger the animal, the further you stay back because they will kick. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get things underway. We do have a 10-race card this afternoon, and we start things off with Arkansas breds, 3-year-olds and up, maiden claiming $40,000 purchase price, and they will go 6 furlongs in distance. And look at this. We've got a few rider changes. I guess Joel Rosario is not in town. I bet he will be next weekend, though, as Evan Ramon picks up the mount on the number 2, and John Jude will be aboard the number 7.
Okay.
And I don't think he is a apprentice, so there might be a corrected weight on that one.
Well, usually if you go from a journeyman to an apprentice, the weight will stay the same.
Yes.
So that's the case there. I guess we'll wait and see. My top pick in this race is an 0 for 14 maiden, God's Country. Drops in for $40,000 today. This runner here is coming off an 8-month break last time out. Didn't run a step against Maiden Special Weight Company. In for 40 today. I don't really have a problem with that. This barn, Starfish Stables, Jaime Gonzalez, every single one of their horses this meet has improved second out. The class drop will help. Last year, this horse was continuously hitting the board against Maiden Special Weight Company. He was always around. The only concern I really have is this horse's will to win. Is he turning himself into a pack animal, or maybe he just stays a pack animal? Because speaking of herd animals, Nancy, horses naturally in the wild, thoroughbreds too, are herd animals.
Right.
And some of them carry that into their races. They like to be around their friends. They don't always like to pass horses. So I hope that's not the case with him, but he's well spotted today. In for 40. This is the easiest field he's seen yet.
Well, I, for the first time this meet, am changing my top selection to what was posted in the local Sentinel record. I originally was on the number 3, Taken on the Run, but I'm going to go to the number 6, and that I didn't have good luck with Jalen Run yesterday, so I'm going to try to do it here with Louis Run. Is one of 3 first-timers in this opening event. Now, Greg Compton, the conditioner, does well not only with runners on debut, but also when making their debut against maiden claimers, first time out as well. Now, this runner is sired by Outwork, who is 15% with runners on debut. That's a fairly high statistic, and I really do like that last drill that he clocked in on February 11th. He went 4 furlongs out of the gate in 47-2. So if he performs as well as he did in that recent work, I'm going to give the first timer the go and the nod. Louis Run in the opener. Race number 2 is for maiden claiming $12,500 purchase price. Fillies and mares, 3 and up, also going the distance of 6 furlongs. And we have a full field of 12, as this is the first leg of the 50-cent pick 4.
It is, and I'm going to pick another professional maiden, which I don't love to do, Rhea Sunshine, but this runner coming out of a maiden 16 race, going 2 turns on the turf, has taken 5 months off, getting back to sprinting. This runner's best performances by far have come sprinting. She's a 5-year-old mare by McLean's Music, who actually earned some decent enough speed figures earlier in her career when she was sprinting. She can run on turf, she can run on dirt. They've tried both, and her numbers suggest that either or is just fine. I think Chris Hartman's saying, okay, it's time to get a win here. We've tried her against deeper company, tougher company. Things haven't worked out. This is not a star-studded field by any means, even for maiden 12.5. I mean, I don't even think this is considered a strong maiden 12.5. I think if she's got anything in the tank, Nancy, she'll run her race, and she'll just naturally be better than most of these, and hopefully all of them, because she's my pick.
Yeah, she's going to be my selection as well. And for some reason, I don't know, Matt, you can agree or disagree, we've seen more runners this meet that have turf on their form and just kind of switching over to the main. So typically you don't see that, but I think we're seeing it more this year for some reason.
Yeah, and there's no rhyme or reason probably as to why. And I've seen this with Kenny McPeak. He sends a couple horses here that have European pedigrees, turf pedigrees, and they're running on the dirt. But I think it may depend on who's training the horse. But, for example, with a Kenny McPeak or a Chris Hartman, I'm not going to question it. They know the horse better than I do, and if this horse is training on the dirt and they think the horse will run well on dirt, I'm not going to question it.
Well, it's interesting that our key horse that we are looking at today, Holland Ice, made her last start over the turf at Gulfstream. Yeah. So they figured, why not? Let's just give her a go. And sometimes, you know, it can be a big question mark, but a lot of horses can run on pillows if they wanted to, or broken glass. So, I mean, a lot of them just really don't care. They just have that adaptability, if you will.
It's funny how that works, and I actually mentioned it during one of my paddock analysis races about synthetic, because I come from Golden Gate, and there are some horses that really thrive on synthetic, and they're not great on dirt or turf. They're just synthetic specialists. And then there are other horses that are the total opposite, especially ones we see from Turfway coming here to try with trainers that have split strings that can have dirt horses or synthetic horses. They don't thrive on synthetic. They run on dirt or turf, and they improve. It's just all a case-by-case, horse-by-horse type of situation.
100% true. Totally agree with that. Race number 3 on the Friday afternoon is for 4-year-olds and up, $20,000 purchase price, all looking for the 3rd win in their career, and they will go 6 furlongs in distance. We did have a scratch of the number 6, Suncroft, and does leave a field of 7.
Yeah, Cunon's going to be my pick in here. This runner was claimed for $20,000 by Greg Compton and owner John Holloman at Keeneland in October. I remember watching this race right around August and September. I start honing in on those Kentucky circuit races because we know Oaklawn's coming up. And watching that race and seeing Greg claim this horse, I thought, Nancy, boy, that's a good claim for Oaklawn. Freshened up 2 months, came here to Oaklawn, ran in a starter on 3, and didn't run well at all. This horse sort of got, it says slight shuffle at the half-mile pole. I don't think that made a difference at all. Just didn't run, regressed significantly. Now, it's not easy to improve off of Brad Cox, but I like that this horse is back in for 20, getting aggressive with the spotting here for Greg Compton. And if he can run better and run back to his races with the Cox barn or something close to it, then I would imagine this horse will run well in this spot. But again, Nancy, it's not easy to improve off of Brad. I do understand that part of it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to give number 8, Cunon, the top nod as well. I like that drop back in for the tag, and Greg Compton looking to potentially have a productive day, as he's a very high 18% second off the claim. Sometimes they need to start under the barn to kind of figure out the quirks and the kinks for runners, but Compton figures it out very, very quickly, and that's a good thing.
He's a good trainer, and I know it says on the page 5%. Numbers, they mean something, but only to a point.
Exactly.
And as you know, Nancy, streaks are so prominent in this business.
They are.
You see the best trainers in the world, Steve Asmussen, a horseman that's got over 400 horses. We've seen him win at a few percent early in a meet and then really pick it up. So Greg, I can tell you, he is a very good trainer, and he's good off the claim. He's very good at judging talent and putting him in the right spot.
Right.
So,
I mean, just for example, you know, we've seen the Cassie barn just fire right out of the gate, and you're almost guaranteed to cash a ticket if you do select a Mark Cassie horse. But there's also those barns that streak certainly will come to an end.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's almost the theory of how this universe works. It's almost, you can't win at 45% forever. It just doesn't happen in our game. And look, like Greg Compton, for example, last year he was 18%.
Right.
So he's 5% at the meet currently. There's absolutely zero chance that continues. He will start winning, and we actually saw him win a couple races since the break. So
Good point. Race number 4, $50,000 is the purchase price for 4-year-olds and up, and they're going to sprint 6 furlongs in distance. Did have a scratch of the number 4, Chiringo, and this is also the first leg of a 50-cent pick 4.
Well, Joel Rosario's on number 6, Good As I Once Was, and he's still named on. I don't know if that's a TBA situation or maybe he was flying in today and there was a delay, but he can make a later race. So just keep that in mind. Keep your ears open if there are any changes there. And he's on the morning line favorite, Good As I Once Was, who I think is going to be pretty tough. I know he's your top pick, Nancy, but I'm going to try to beat him with a horse that I think is going to be a little bit of a better price. His name is Lundberg. I thought his $30,000 claiming win 3 starts ago was a really solid effort from him. Came back and was second behind a runaway winner, El Prestigio, who, by the way, that day ran a much better than average first level allowance victory. Then this horse came back, finished in midfield behind Vital Mind. Didn't run as well. He's in for $50,000 a day. It needs the drop. This is an older group. It's a good group. You've got horses in here that are very comparable to first level allowance foes. But Lundberg, if he can run back to his 3-back race the last time he was in for a tag for Armando Hernandez, I think this horse will do really good work. And Armando, by the way, 29% from a 98 horse sample with claimers.
That's pretty high. I am going to look to the number 6, Good As I Once Was. Now, somebody help me. Toby Keith or George Strait? I think that was a country song.
I don't know.
I don't listen to enough country
I'm going to look it up right now.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Matt. The 8-time winner is hoping for back-to-back wins, as he actually has done before in his career. He last faced $62,500 runners. That was also contested over the mud at Churchill in late November. He chased the pace and closed late in the lane to score by just over a length. Now, he's been very competitive throughout his racing career when contesting a tag, and is going to take that slight step down in class today. So Good As I Once Was is my top pick in race number 4. Did you figure it out?
Yeah. Do you want to guess? Or you want me to just say it? Think about it.
Did I say who it was?
So you got a 50-50 shot at it.
Toby Keith.
Bing,
really?
bing, bing. We got a winner here.
Wow.
I'm glad you knew it was Toby, because Toby Keith was a major Oaklawn fan.
Huge Oaklawn fan.
Good As I Once Was, sung by Toby Keith, the late great.
He used to make appearances and actually sing in pops when he was here.
That's what people have said.
He was so friendly and just somebody like that stature, and it just makes themselves accessible to our racing community. And it really was a tragic loss when he passed. Yeah.
Not just in racing, but in the country singing community, the entertainment business. So. It was a big deal. I mean, he was a worldwide superstar. Country music, I actually think, no offense to any other singers out there, country singers have some of the best voices in the world.
I agree.
Amazing voices. My dad actually introduced me to Dwight Yoakam, not in person, but I mean like his music. And 1,000 Miles from Nowhere was on the radio, and I was driving to work today, and that was playing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so country.
We had a man Charlie Crockett, who's younger. You can definitely see he has a Dwight Yoakam influence in his music, and country music are some of the best storytellers as well. Just really good storytellers. There used to be a joke, what do you get when you play a country song backwards? You get your dog back, you get your car back, you get your truck back, you get your motorhome back.
You get your tractor back, all that stuff. I've heard probably at least a half dozen different songs about tractors.
Yeah, exactly.
They can sing about anything.
Exactly. John Deere. Race number 5 is for maiden claiming. Here's another $24,000 purchase price, 3-year-olds, and they are going to go 1 mile and a 16th. And this is another, Matt, we kind of saw this yesterday, another case of double-digit losses in their last start.
Yeah, and I think with a horse like Timberline, who's the morning line favorite here, it's just about finding his friends. And even though this horse has not been very competitive, he's been far back throughout in his races. Look who he's running against. Circle Tap, Liberty National, Further Ado, who we're probably going to see in the Fountain of Youth for Brad Cox next week. This horse is just facing such a lighter group. I mean, this is a significantly lighter bunch. This is like going from the major leagues to single A.
Yes.
You know, so with that in mind, you're probably going to do better. I don't think this is a suspicious drop. I know they bought him for $300,000, but Kenny McPeek has a lot of horses. At some point, if your horses aren't running well, you got to just take a stand and say it is what it is. We might have to take a loss here in terms of what we invested in the horse, but we need to put the horse in the spot where they can win. And adds blinkers today, too, which will be interesting. Not sure if maybe Kenny McPeek's trying to get this horse to show a little more natural speed. Sometimes the blinkers will do that. Other times, it's just a last-minute desperation move to see if they can improve the horse. But even the speed figures here on this horse are fast enough to outrun this group. So, yeah, you're with me, Nancy, on this, it looks like. But I would not single a horse like this in multi-race bets. That would take some guts to do that, but I do think he's the horse to beat, and he'll probably win if he runs his race.
Yeah, I like that this runner has a very solid foundation of those two-turn events. And Matt mentioned the addition of blinkers, but it's also going to get Lasix today as well. And the blinkers, that's a 17% win move for the McPeek barn. So getting a little aggressive with these entries. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, by the way, race number 5 was the start of the $1 Classics with that over $15,000 carryover. When we come back, race number 6, the first leg of the final 50-cent Pick 5 on the day.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere, exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Rebel Stakes Day means big money on the track. And now, big money for you too. Swipe your ID on live race days to earn entries for our Rebel Riches drawing. On Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, you'll score double entries. And on Saturdays, a single entry. But on Rebel Stakes Day, Sunday, March 1st, your swipe earns 5 times the entries, putting you closer to the cash than ever before. Throughout the day, 25 winners will take home their share of $10,000. After races 2 through 6, 5 winners will be awarded prizes ranging from $200 to $600 each. From the track to your pocket, Rebel Stakes Day just got richer.
Dusty Road Breeders' Stakes. But with a furlong to go, it is all Holland Ice. Holland Ice by 5 coming to the finish. And Holland Ice at 2 to 5, she will win the Down the Dusty Road Breeders' Stakes as advertised.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to see Holland Ice, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that she's the only Arkansas bred to ever compete in the Breeders' Cup.
That I would not know that. Robert Yates would, for sure.
I'd be shocked if there was another
I can't think of anybody. And if she were to, she doesn't even need to win today. She can run 3rd or 4th, I think, and become the first ever Arkansas-bred millionaire.
Love it.
Yeah,
so
I think the odds of that happening are about 1 to 100. So maybe a 1 to 1,000,000. I mean, she should be 1 to 5, 1 to 9 in that race, I would think. But even there is a phantom handicapper. I'm not going to use this person's name. There is a phantom handicapper. Good on him, because beating favorites, I'll never argue with that when you try to do that.
Going to try to beat her.
This phantom handicapper said, Holland Ice is losing today. You heard it here first. I said, okay. And I said, who do you like? And he goes, I can't say.
Hush it, honey.
I guess. I don't know. He said, I can't say.
Well, you got to back it up.
Maybe it's just the superstition thing. I don't know. But I
Is
felt
this
like Sharon,
person normally a good handicapper?
I would say so. Pretty
Okay.
good. Pretty good. Pretty good. And not a type of person that always tries to beat a favorite, but
Yeah.
I always say if you try to beat a favorite, nobody should knock you for it, even if a favorite looks unbeatable on paper. Ewing, everybody thought Ewing was going to win.
Yeah.
But he was coming off a layoff. He didn't fire his race. Look, Secretariat lost to Onion. He lost to a horse named Onion.
Right.
If Secretariat could lose to Onion, any horse can lose on
Any
any
horse
given
can lose.
day.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a guarantee in horse racing.
No.
Yeah.
But that was what Phantom Handicapper had to say. I decided. I don't even know if Phantom Handicapper is going to love I shared it on air, but I'm keeping Phantom Handicapper anonymous.
Well,
so.
exactly. You're anonymous, so nobody still knows.
Right.
We saw race number 5 as the first leg of the $1 Classics carryover. Race number 6 as we dive back in as the first leg of the final 50-cent pick 5 on the afternoon, and it is for fillies and mares 3 and up. Non-2, claiming price of $12,500, sprinting 6 furlongs. Scratch the number 2, Yes to Champagne. Yes, definitely to Champagne. Also scratch the number 10, Cashmere Baby.
Sure. So Army Nurse is going to be my pick. My mom's a nurse. She wasn't in the Army. She didn't work around the Army, but she's a nurse. So I guess it can be. I can make that a hunch play. I can call it a hunch play. This runner comes off a $32,000 very poor effort at 8-1. That was against Open Company. Is in for 12-5 here. Also against Open, Kentucky bred here. I just think that this runner dropping in class, that'll really help her. She broke her maiden for 53 starts ago. That 2-back effort on synthetic wasn't great, but we talked about it earlier in the show. Some horses just don't take to synthetic. So with that in mind, I think the drop for Steve Asmussen is what she needs. First off, the claim for Steve, who claimed her for $32,000. And Steve has so many horses. The good news for him is that yes, when you look and you see a horse's claim for 32, they drop for 12.5. It's suspicious, but I just feel like Steve is the type of trainer who's got the type of owners where he's not going to deal with any nonsense in terms of spotting his horses in spots they can't be competitive. If he claims a horse for 32, watches him train and says, look, we can't win for 32, not that good. We can run for 12.5 and be competitive. He's going to put them in for 12.5, and if they lose a little bit of money off of it, they do. And even with the purse good, you claim for 12.5, you win the purse. Even if it's a little bit of a loss, it's not much.
Yeah. So Matt's top pick is my third pick.
Okay.
My top pick is Matt's third pick.
Oh.
So we're doing a little switcheroo, 7 right in the middle. I'm going to go with What's Her Number, coming from the barn of David Fox. Francisco Arrieta getting the call here. Now, she went on the shelf for 6 months after joining the barn back in June off the $16,000 claim when running second against Non-2 Company. Now, she does make her third start of the meet, exits a 6th place finish as the beaten favorite when facing tougher. Now, Fox runners excel not only third off the layoff, firing at about 16%, but also third off the claim where the barn is 17%. Now, the class relief obviously is a big move closer to the winner's circle for the number 8. What's Her Number? Race number 7 coming up next is fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. First level allowance, and they will contest 6 furlongs. As we take a look at the entrance, did have a scratch of the number 3, and this is a late scratch that we're seeing just for the first time of the number 3 Coaster. We don't have to worry about Joel Rosario on there either.
There you go.
There
so a field of 8. Oh, that would have helped my price a little bit on my top pick, Gins Beach Road, if Coaster stayed in. But Gins Beach Road is the trip play of the day here. I mean, if you watch her last replay, it was a big field. She got multiple traffic issues, had to steady multiple times. I don't think she was beating the winner, Spring Dancer, because Spring Dancer got a clear lead. She's very quick, and she was able to open up on the field. And I think it would have been tough to run her down anyway, but I'll go out on a limb and say Gins Beach Road probably would have run second that day. And this filly, in terms of speed figures, off that not poor effort, but poor trip last time with a couple of checks on the far turn, that tells me that she probably very much could have run faster. And she's also a real big filly. She's a very well-bred filly, and she's very large. And sometimes these larger scoped runners, as you know, Nancy, once they stop, it takes them a while to get going again. Some horses, they can just start and stop. This is not one of these fillies, I do not believe. I think once you sort of take a hold of her, you got to get her going again.
Yeah.
Sort of like a car, right? I mean, even some sports cars. I drive a Mercedes. I mean, it's not like I can start and stop it. It's going to take a little bit. If I slam on the brakes and then I press the go button again, it's going to the gas pedal. It's going to take a little while to get going again.
Sure.
So that's the case with Gins Beach Road. And with that in mind, I'm going to pick her in here. And she's not far off winning at this level. But last time out, I think she could have run a little bit better with a better trip, and I'm hoping today she gets a good trip.
I'm going to look towards the Robbie Medina barn with the number 7, Miss L. She is one of the most experienced in this particular field with 13 starts under her belt, but she's also produced 3 trips to the winner's circle for those efforts. Now, she does return to the overnight ranks after splitting the field to run 5th last go in the Bugler overnight stakes earlier in the month. She was 2nd prior to that at today's level, and she's been not quite as punctual out of the gate in her last couple of goes. So I'd really like to see Francisco maybe kind of quarter horse her out of the gate and not give her as much to do late in the lane. She typically settles within that first flight of runners, but it's all going to be no pressure, Francisco, up to him out of the gate. Love that
Francisco's ridden a lot of races over the years, Nancy. I think he's zoned in. I think he's locked in for you.
I agree. I hope so. Race number 8 is our feature on the afternoon. This is the 16th running of the Down the Dusty Road Breeders' Stakes. It's a purse of $150,000 for fillies and mares 3 and up, going 6 furlongs. And when you get to, especially Matt, our Arkansas bred stakes, it's always a constant rematch. It's a rubber match because they've faced each other for several years, and that's no exception here in the Down the Dusty Road.
And that's how it is in pretty much every state bred program, just on numbers and just on looking at what kinds of horses fit at the higher level state bred stakes conditions. So Holland Ice, she's the one to beat, obviously. Lost last time at 5-2 against Open Company, sprinting on the grass, and lost behind a runner who came right back to win. If she runs her C race, she could lose. I don't think she's going to. I don't see why she would. But if she doesn't show up, then a runner like Hush It Honey could win. And Nancy, as you can see, I agree with you on these. The top 3, at least, it's sort of like Holland Ice is up here. Hush It Honey's not far off, but she's below. Then Caliente Star is a decent little filly. She's here, and then everybody else is sort of just taking a shot.
Yeah.
And that's why our top 3 are the same, and then the 4th pick could go either way. Of course, not every race is formful, but she's got speed. She doesn't need the lead. Loves Oaklawn. Has never finished worse than 2nd in 9 starts at 6 furlongs. That Breeders' Cup race, across it out. It was against tougher company, obviously.
Absolutely.
And she's not really a 7 furlong horse. I don't think she wants to quite go that far. So all things considered, you look at besides that race, she's for the most part very consistent. Her only bad races on the page, look at this. I'm looking at it right now. Just got to say it, Nancy. I know I've been talking a lot about a 1-5 shot, but there's 4 races on the page where she's lost by double-digit lengths. Every single other race, she's either won or been right there. I look at the 4 distances that she's lost by double-digit lengths. 7 furlongs, 7 furlongs, 7 furlongs, 7 furlongs.
So 6 furlongs hits her right between the eyes.
I would imagine. Hopefully. And she's run against much tougher company at 6 furlongs.
Oh, for
sure. So if she shows up, she'll be tough.
Well, it's interesting that Safi had mentioned that this wasn't the original plan for her. She was entered in an allowance state breds, but that race didn't fill. So this was the next best thing. She does come from Gulfstream Park, and she shipped and run here and been productive when doing so. So Safi has said she is speedy but doesn't have to have the lead, and hopefully she breaks well and she'll be there for Francisco to decide what he wants to do. And there is one horse that I think is going to make it tough for her today, and that is Hush It Honey, but on a class-wise, Holland Ice certainly the one to catch, and has already said that she is also going to be pointed towards the matron in her next start. So kind of cool that we kind of already know where she's pointed to.
She'll look to become back-to-back winner of the matron. And look, Hush It Honey, and to her credit, look at this. I mean, she's 6 for 12 lifetime with 3 other in the money finishes, 4 for 6 at Oaklawn, 4 for 6 going 6 furlongs. And in the Rainbow Miss at 2024, guess what? She beat Holland Ice as the low odds favorite Holland Ice. So she's beat her before, and she runs well fresh. I don't think Holland Ice is going to win by 7 necessarily against a nice runner like this. I do think she's probably a little bit better, and she also has a tactical advantage drawn outside. But Holland Ice will have to come with her race today.
The 9th race is the first leg of the $5 late daily double, and it is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, nominals of 2. $32,000 is the claiming price, and they will go 3/4 of a mile in distance, scratching numbers 7 and 9. 7 and 9 out of race number 9.
Yes, and I'm going to pick the morning line favorite here, She Called. You know, early in her career, Nancy, as you probably remember from 2024, there were some hopes for this filly. They bought her for a good chunk of change. She started out her career running in good races, and then her form sort of dipped. Last time out, they finally put her in for a tag after that poor form, race after race against tougher company, and really found her friends last time. She didn't win as the favorite, but she was far back, and I thought a little bit farther back than maybe she prefers and maybe she wants to run. I think she's one that wants to show a little more speed and stock the pace. Was wide on the turn, turning for home, and came up a length and 3/4 short. You've got Louise Saez aboard. Rider change, who's a very aggressive rider and more aggressive, and I think that he's going to be a good fit for her. She's also one of these mares that you got to sort of keep pedaling on. It's like a bike. You know, sometimes you can just go down the hill with your bike and you're going to roll down that hill, and other times you got to pedal to get everything out of the bike.
Maybe just shake the reins at her a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Louise Saez is a good fit for her, and we saw that with Classic Time for Norm Cassie yesterday. I mean, he was all over this horse 3/8 pole, and it looked like she was just sort of plodding along, and she just kept grinding. He kept getting after her, and eventually she leveled off and got there in the last stride. So She Called's my pick.
Well, David Fox and Alex and Joanne Leblong teamed up for the biggest win of their career just this past weekend, and I'm not sure if the Leblongs are going to be on property. They're probably pretty exhausted and probably jet lagged, but they did win the Saudi Derby Sprint with Reef Runner, who's a homebred, and by sire Big Beasts, who they campaigned, the Big Beast, who they campaigned as well. So I can't wait to see them on track. I definitely want to get an interview with them to talk about their experience. And there was a photo of Miss Joanne like doing this because she was just in shock and awe that kind of went viral, which is so cool. So congratulations to them. This obviously is not a multi-million-dollar race, but just as important, Matt. But I am going to go with She Called as well.
They'll be watching.
Oh, they'll for sure be watching. So very well respected in our community. And Alex, also the head of the Arkansas Racing Commission.
Done a lot of good work for our business here. And it just goes to show, and I was thinking about this actually this morning, every race matters to somebody.
It absolutely does.
Whether you're calling a grade 1, whether you're analyzing a grade 1, or whether you're doing things riding in a grade 1 or riding for $5,000.
Yeah.
Every race matters to somebody, and that includes the backstretch employees, not just the owners and the trainers. I mean, you're talking about breeders, you're talking about grooms that work their tails off day in and day out. So no matter what, we got to pay attention to every single race and treat it, because it's always somebody's grade 1 somewhere.
I love that you say that. I had a former coworker who was like, well, this horse isn't this horse isn't that. And I said, you can't say that because that horse may be somebody's big horse.
Absolutely.
You know, and every single person that does lay hands on a horse has an integral part in their process, even down to the hot walkers, the person that holds the horse for the blacksmith. So it's a well-oiled machine, and horses love that continuation. They love that routine. They really thrive off of it. And when their routine kind of gets off whack, gets off kilter, it shows. It really does show. So.
And I remember I used to do the news and notes at Golden Gate. I wore many different hats there, and I went to the backstretch, and this trainer had a really nice 25 claimer and was just doing a really good job with the horse, and she only had about a half dozen horses. And I said, hey, I want to write an article about your horse. And she goes, you want to write about me? And I said, of course, you're doing great work with this horse. And she goes, but he's only a 25 claimer. And I said, you know what, though? She's your big horse.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, he means the world to me. And we talked about it, and they were just so excited that they got some recognition. And to them, winning a 25 claimer is like winning a grade 1 race. And I've seen trainers call at many different tracks at many different levels. I've seen $5,000 claimers, people literally with tears in their eyes because it means so much to them.
Yeah, I've been there, done that, and it means a lot to the barn help as well. That's why I'm very glad and appreciative that we give awards to our grooms. as well, because they put in all the hours and a lot of that hard work. Race number 10 to close out the day is for Arkansas bred 3-year-olds and up. Maiden claiming $40,000, and they're going to stretch out and contest a mile and a 16th. Do have a scratch of the number 6 Bobo Doe, and Rafael Bejarano will be aboard the number 11 Spooky Action. So I think that previous Rosario that we didn't have a jockey change for will be a jockey change here comes shortly.
Yeah, I would think so, good as I once was, so keep that in mind. Scratch the 6 Bobo Doe here, and I think the handicapping gets a little bit more complicated this race because horses with the best chances have the worst post position.
They do.
Great Taps. I mean, I would have liked Great Taps a lot more today if this horse didn't draw the 12 hole.
Agreed.
Even in the 11 hole now, it doesn't make a huge difference. Now, I will say, going a mile and a 16th, that helps a little bit. It's harder to win from the 12 hole going a mile, the short stretch, than a mile and a 16th.
Right.
But it's not that much better. So I'm going to try to beat this horse with Willie Cuts, a horse that speed figures-wise makes sense. I don't have a problem with this horse in terms of how fast he is, class. I just question, does he want to go long? His dam was a sprinter, but this dam, she's an older mare. She's produced 8 siblings of this horse, 6 of them at least won once routing. So there is some route here. By alternation, who could route a little bit. There's route here. The drop from maiden special weight state breds to 40 is going to help. It'll be interesting. Ran 4th beaten 10 lengths to a runaway winner in a maiden special weight triple up. We ran a hole in the win that day and was a huge winner that day. So the 10 lengths, don't look at that as anything negative, a little bit more deceiving there. I like Willie Cuts in here as long as he can route. This is the field that he can probably beat here.
Well, I definitely like Gray Taps. I hate the post position, as we've alluded to. Is going to tackle Older Company today for the first time after debuting earlier in the month against Open Maiden 50. That was sprinting. It got away a little bit slow, took in the action from the rear of the field to finish 8th, beaten shy of 10 lengths. But the homebred does face Arkansas breds today and is going to stretch out. Sire Tapper 12% with runners second time out and 14% runners going a route of ground. So we'll see how the nightcap does wind up as we now are not done. Let's take a look at our $20 show bet bonus parlay, our long shot and top pick. I'm going to go with the 8s today, Matt. You know how I like my little props.
Wow.
I'm going to go 8s all the way through with races 5, 6, 8, 9, while Matt starts in race 2 with Ray of Sunshine, goes to Lundberg in the 4th, Gins Beach Road in race 7, and She Called in the 9th. I'm going to go my long shot play of the day in the opener with Run, Louie, Run, the number 6. Matt goes with a different number 6 in race 6 with Army Nurse, and not surprised, top pick sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. We both are looking to the future millionaire-ess in Holland Ice.
Yes.
So very excited to see her in the paddock and back in the flesh. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, invite you personally to come see me at Dawn at Oaklawn. That program does start at 7:30. Just park across the street, walk over, head on out to the South Apron. We've got juice, we got coffee, we got pastries, we got everything that you need to watch and enjoy morning training. There'll be 2 barn tours, first come, first serve. So very excited to start yet another season of Dawn at Oaklawn. That has a special place in my heart because I inherited that from the late, great Terry Wallace. It's going to be a beautiful day here. Hopefully we've given you some winners. Matt's going to give you the full set of changes in just a few, and we're going to go out with our little plushies for our junior race fans tomorrow. For track announcer Matt Dinnerman, I am Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park. Folks, without further ado, we now ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can now get out your pens, pencils, and programs because we now have today's changes. Here they come. Our dirt track listed as fast today. Partly sunny skies, 53 degrees currently, northeast winds coming in at 5 miles an hour. Again, our dirt track is fast. Here come today's changes. The first race today begins the early pick 5 sequence. We have 2 rider changes. The rider on number 2, Mr. Fahrenheit, will now be Evan Roman. Evan Roman rides number 2, Mr. Fahrenheit, in race 1. And the rider on number 7, Steel Thunder, will now be John Jude. John Jude to navigate number 7, Steel Thunder, in the saddle for race 1. And the corrected weight for number 7, Steel Thunder, should now read 117 pounds. Also in the first race, number 9, City Rider, is 1 pound overweight. The second race begins the early pick 4 sequence. In race number 2, number 4, Pushing Through, is 1 pound overweight. 7, Karoom's Croupier, 3 pounds overweight. We have an updated workout for you, not listed in your past performance products. There it is on the screen with number 6, Nandina. The third race begins the pick 5. That's a middle pick 5. Races 3 through 7. In race number 3 on the program today, we are clear, other than the scratch of number 6, Suncroft. Scratch number 6, Suncroft, in race number 3. Also in the third race, number 2, Gino Hollander, is 4 pounds overweight. In the fourth race on the program today, number 4, Chiringo, is out. Scratch number 4, Chiringo, from race 4, and we have a rider change on number 6, Good As I Once Was. Make the jockey Christian Torres. Christian Torres will ride number 6, Good As I Once Was, in race 4. In the fifth race on the program, start of the $1 Class 6, we have a $15,000 carryover. There's no changes in race number 5. In the sixth race, start of the late pick 5. Scratch number 2, Yes to Champagne. And scratch number 10, Cashmere Baby. Numbers 2 and 10, both out of race number 6, start of the late pick 5. In the seventh race on the program, we begin the late pick 4. Number 3, Coaster, is out. Scratch number 3, Coaster, from race number 7, starting that late pick 4. In the eighth race, the $150,000 Down the Dusty Road Breeders' Stakes, our feature race today for Arkansas-bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward at 6 furlongs. There are no changes. We're clear there. In the ninth race on the program today, scratch number 7, T-Total, and scratch number 9, On My Way to Save the Day. Numbers 7 and 9, both out of race number 9. We have 2 updated workouts for you with number 5, Promise Me an Empire, on the screen, and also number 11, Musical Prayer. There's an updated workout for you. These workouts not listed in your past performance products. The nightcap is race number 10. In the finale, scratch number 6, Bobo Doe. Number 6, Bobo Doe, is out of race number 10. Number 3, Because I'm Happy, is 1 pound overweight. And the rider on number 11, Spooky Action, make the jockey Rafael Bejarano. Rafael Bejarano rides number 11, Spooky Action, from race 10. 20 minutes until race number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your afternoon watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park.
Want to turn small bets into bigger paydays without taking huge risks?
Let's break down the show bet parlay, a fun, low-risk way to stay in the action all day long.
First, a quick refresher.
A show bet means your horse just needs to finish in the top 3. It's not as flashy as a win bet, but your chances of cashing in are much higher.
And when you bet on track, you get even more back thanks to Oaklawn's show bet bonus.
A parlay means you're taking your winnings from one race and betting them on the next. So if your horses keep finishing in the top 3, your profit keeps growing.
Here's how a show bet parlay might look.
Start with $10 in race 1. Your horse finishes second and pays $3.20 to show. Now you've got $16.
Bet that $16 in race 2. Your horse runs third and pays $2.80 to show. That bumps you up to $22.40.
Bet the $22 in race 3, and if that horse hits the board, your parlay keeps rolling.
Want to play it smart? Here's how.
Choose consistent, reliable horses, not wild long shots.
Set a goal, maybe cash out after 3 or 4 wins in a row.
You can even play as a group. Share the bets and share the fun.
It's simple, low risk, and builds fast.
So grab a program, find your top contenders, and give the show bet parlay a try next time you're at Oaklawn.
And the runners are now making their way onto the track for race number 1. It's a maiden 40 state bred race for Arkansas breds, 3-year-olds and up at 6 furlongs. And in this race, there's no changes. We start with Win Play Show, Exacta, Trifecta, Superfecta, Daily Double, Pick 3 wagering. The early Pick 5 begins here in the opener, and post time is 6 minutes away.